So the important thing to remember when you're skinning an elk is that you have to drain the blood forward through the nostrils. A lot of amateurs don't realize that.
Yeah, I never would have thought of that.
Hey guys, what's up?
Oh, hey. Peter the intern and I were just talking about our summer plans.
Oh, nice. I'm deciding between working at SNL and Seth Meyers. How about you?
Oh, yeah, I got a lot of irons in the fire right now. You know, I actually have a phone interview right now with Snoop Lion to talk about working at Lionsgate Productions. So I'm gonna get going real quick.
Yeah. Good luck, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
See ya.
See you later. So the important thing to remember when you're skinning an elk is that you have to drain the blood forward through the nostrils.
Hey man, what you working on?
Oh, hey, I'm just beefing up my resume. Check it out.
Oh wow, there's a lot going on.
Well, there's a lot going on up here.
No, Jay, I mean visually. You have highlighter here, 4 different colors, and is that a YouTube hyperlink?
Well, yeah. I mean, I wanted to link the show so people can see what I work on.
Jay, show me how you use a hyperlink on a printed resume.
Yeah, sure. Oh, geez, the hyperlink's broken. Would you mind helping me out with this?
Yeah, sure. Okay, Jay, skills section. What are you good at?
I would say I'm a good communicator. Excellent communication skills. Maybe excels at oral and written communication. Team player.
Really? Team player?
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, Alright, maybe goal-oriented would be a little bit more appropriate.
Alright, fine.
Well, while you're here, could you help me out with my Jimmy application?
With your what?
The Jimmy app. It's an all-purpose job application for all the Jimmy-hosted late-night shows. You know, Kimmel, Fallon, the other ones.
Fallon? Jay, you hate Fallon.
Yeah, I know. But, you know, there's so many on there. They even got Corden on there, and he's a James, so I probably won't even get called back for Fallon. Oh.
Okay, so why do you deserve to intern for the incredible Jimmy Fallon?
Well, I mean, I host a late-night talk show, too, and I think it'd be pretty cool to learn from the best.
Oh, wow, that is truly very amazing, truly incredible. You know, I see so much of Jimmy Fallon in you.
You do?
Yeah, I think it's the name.
The name? But my name's Jay, not Jimmy. I'm sorry, I can't take this offer. No disrespect to you. I mean, well, actually, you know what? A lot of disrespect to you and the rest of the team, and especially Jimmy Fallon, that thin-lipped hack. I'm out.
Jay Thatcher, everybody. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
How'd it go?
Great, actually. They love me.
Nice.
So you got the internship?
What? No, I hated them. I'd rather skin an elk than work for my worst enemy.
So, what are you gonna do now?
Well, because I couldn't get an internship, I guess I'm gonna spend my summer clubbing every night in Wildwood.
Wildwood?
Yeah, Wildwood. I'm actually heading out today.
But Jay, summer doesn't begin for a few weeks. Don't you have finals?
You know, bro, it's never too early to prepare for Wildwood living. My Uber's here.
You didn't even call one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's all part of Wildwood living.
And here's your host, Jay Thatcher.
Hello! Hello, everybody, and welcome to the season finale of Templeton Night.
We're very excited to be here. Big thanks to my co-host, Ava Sullivan. Big thanks to my band leader, Noah Tannen, and his house band, the Spray Tannins. So let's get into it. So National Geographic reports that plastic in the ocean has tripled since the 1960s. So if you think this is the last straw with climate change, just remember there's actually plenty more in the North Atlantic. The French president has announced that beloved Cathedral Notre Dame will be rebuilt, this time with a food court and an Apple store. An Ohio teen was arrested for making over 70 prank calls to multiple police stations. That's pretty impressive because I would have run out of different accents by the third or fourth one. Hasbro and Lionsgate have announced production on a new live-action Monopoly film. The final runtime is still up in the air, though, since the average movie is 90 minutes and the average Monopoly game lasts 3 days. An Oregon father was arrested for stealing money that his daughter earned selling Girl Scout cookies. He was later awarded the "Your Dad's Kinda Sketchy" badge. A new report shows that Pennsylvania has the second most structurally unsound bridges in the United States, which is somehow more disappointing than if we took first. And over in Kansas, an Uber driver took passengers to the airport and then allegedly went back to their house and tried to break in. I mean, I can relate. I've driven friends to the airport and definitely felt like I was entitled to everything they own as compensation. And Stanford University expelled a student who was admitted with falsified sailing credentials. And to think, that spot was probably taken from an equally privileged upper-class applicant with genuine sailing credentials. Shame. It's a shame. And finally, a group of bulls crashed a college party in Texas. They reportedly enjoyed the music and the beverages, but they were disappointed in the 6-to-1 steer-to-heifer ratio. So yeah, we have a great show for you tonight. Later on, we'll be talking with representatives from the Student Farm Worker Alliance and have a musical performance from Justin Magnay. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to Temple Tonight. During the commercial break, I was actually just discussing with Ava and Noah how Memento is one of my favorite movies.
You were?
Yeah, check your arm.
Ah, yeah. Noah, you said you hadn't seen it, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen many movies, to be honest. I haven't even seen Cars 2.
Well, we're kind of movie buffs, so we could give you some recommendations.
Yeah. You should watch Titanic. It's 3 hours of steamy romance, and the most action you see is a hand on a window.
True. Or you can check out one of my favorites, Good Will Hunting, a movie that shows that therapy works.
Oh, can't forget about Forrest Gump, or as I like to call it, Baby Boomer's greatest hits.
Oh, that's good. What about that movie Signs? A guy sees some signs. That was really just a guess. I haven't seen that one either.
Oh, I love Joanne Fabrics in that one.
Don't you mean Joaquin Phoenix? Like reverse quinoa?
Okay. Fine. I guess you do know some stuff. But what about Avatar, Blue People Jungle Book?
Oh yeah, or Fargo, people who talk funny solve a white-on-white snow crime.
People who talk funny, they're North Dakotans, Jay. How about Rocky?
Ooh,
A
yeah.
man runs up some art museum steps and doesn't even appreciate art while he's there.
How about Baby Driver? An infant drives.
I actually think you're talking about Boss Baby, but that's pretty good for someone who hasn't watched a lot of movies.
True. Well, I mean, I don't know. Baby Driver, that's in the title. That's pretty easy.
I don't know, Jay. I think he might be pretty good at this. Give him a harder one.
Okay, Grease.
Grease. I don't know. Maybe something about like summer days, drifting away. Those summer nights. I don't know. Something along those lines.
I don't know. That's pretty vague. Why don't you tell me more? Tell me more.
Gosh, I don't know. Well, it sounds like maybe something along the lines of a greaser meets a goody two-shoes on a summer vacation, and they slowly fall in love while navigating the political contours of 1950s social life.
That is scary accurate. I am sorry I doubted you.
Don't even worry about it, Jay. I mean, this is kind of like I, Tanya. All she had to do is believe in herself and say, I, Tanya. Well, in this case, I, Noah.
And let's hear it for Noah.
So now that we've given Noah some movie recs, we're gonna move along. Recently, Temple University announced that it will be tobacco-free. It will be a tobacco-free campus by this fall. So we actually sent out one of our correspondents, Billy Patterson, to see how campus is responding. Let's take a look.
All right. We here at Temple tonight like to joke around a lot, but today we're here to talk about a very serious issue, which is the new anti-smoking policy laid down by the university. And I personally see this as sort of an unjust, arbitrary infringement on our rights as Americans. And so we're going to go around and talk to some people today and get their thoughts on it as well. And I just want to let you know, this isn't a personal vendetta for me. I'm not a smoker myself. I've actually never smoked a cigarette in my life. I've eaten one once, but that was an accident. So I'm not a proponent of smoking. I am a proponent of freedom, because that's what's really under attack here from Tricky Dick Englert and the Smoke Free Campus Task Force. Well, here's the situation. Temple sent out a lot of emails about hitting Juuls, but none about hitting people. So how do you feel about a school that is cracking down on smoking, but seems to be sort of turning a blind eye to violence? Tobacco is a pretty big American industry, employs a lot of Americans, whereas a lot of other drugs, Central America, South America, you know what I mean? Like, they're not doing anything against these cartels that are illegally bringing cocaine and psychedelics into our country, whereas North Carolina grown tobacco, that's certainly a big issue. Yeah. Nicotine usage amongst teens is rising, so with this new policy, Temple is alienating a significant portion of the applicant pool, and fewer applications means a higher acceptance rate, and a higher acceptance rate means less prestige, which means that this policy is really going to have a negative effect on the future value of both your degree and mine. So how does that make you feel?
Damn it. No, I mean, all right. I mean, that's cool.
It's just, I don't want you and me to be in a situation 10 years from now where we have diplomas from a bankrupt, defunct university, and all our friends that went to like Pittsburgh and Penn State making six figures and laughing at us.
If applicants are choosing schools based on nicotine policies, I don't think they're actually that prestigious after all, so I'm okay with it.
I'm not a smoker, but still voting with my dollar. Just so you know, there's like 15 people online, so it is. Supporting local businesses and tobacco simultaneously. Smoking's pretty cool. 5 seconds to name something cooler than smoking.
That's the yes.
I can't think of anything. I'm sorry. It kind of says it all, doesn't it? They're not gonna beat us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Freedom's gonna win out. It always does.
Oh,
eventually,
100%.
Along that timeline. Except there's been some tragic situations where fascism and aggression won, but in other situations, in the good,
Well,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? In the good ones, freedom wins.
We are in the middle of an episode.
Making my newest TikTok. You know, I'm trying to be a TikTok star now.
We've actually been meaning to talk to you about that, Jay.
Yeah, it's this obsession you have it's not healthy, which is actually why we brought your stepdad here today.
Jerry? Jerry?
Yeah. And there's someone else that we want you to meet as well. Please welcome former Vine star Candace Chadworth.
Could the band play like a little quieter, please? It's giving me the shakes.
We can't. Please try to adjust.
So thank you, Candace, for being here with us
Yes.
today. Could you tell us a little bit about your journey with Vine and life after the app was shut down?
Yeah, well, it all started back in 2013 when I was a Viner, you know. When you're riding high, getting likes, getting revines, you know, breaking your loop count for the month of October. You think it would last forever, but sooner or later it all comes crashing down.
And would you mind elaborating a little bit more on your struggles?
Yeah, man, since Vines were only 6 seconds, my object permanence went completely out the window. I truly find myself all the time saying, what are those?
Jay, just imagine losing your own object permanence.
Well, I mean, that could never happen to me, though. I mean, my object permanence is off the chain.
Well, I mean, that's what I thought, but it can happen to anyone, Jay. I try to fight my demons, but now the only defense mechanism I know is smack cam.
That's kind of ridiculous.
Oh, no.
Okay. I'm sorry. Woo! Sorry, that's just a residual side effect.
All right, then. Well, what are you doing now?
Well, the judge said doing it for the vine wasn't a legal defense, so I'm doing 9 to life in state.
That's why she's here today, Jay.
Yeah, my parole officer told me that if I give preventative talks to preteens about the dangers and consequences of trendy social media apps, I could get a reduced sentence.
Wow. Well, I mean, thank you for warning me about all the potential side effects of clout, you know. But also, did you really think I was a preteen?
Of course, Jay. But you know, I actually have to go. I am only allowed to be here for 15 minutes. I gotta go talk to my parole officer.
Okay.
Thanks you.
for being here.
Bye.
Thanks. See, Jay, these apps, they're dangerous.
Yeah, but Ava, I mean, Vines only lasts 6 seconds. TikTok is forever.
All right, we're going to be right back after we convince Jay to deactivate his account.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to Temple Tonight. I'm here with our guest, Kate Kelly from the Student Farm Worker Alliance. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, Kate. So for anyone who might not know, can you tell us what the Student Farm Worker Alliance is?
Yeah, the Student Farm Worker Alliance is a national group of students who organize in solidarity with the Coalition of Immokalee Workers. And you're like, what? Immokalee? Sounds like broccoli. It's a town in Southwest Florida where the majority of the country's winter tomatoes are grown. So it's a real small town with a lot of trailer homes and then like massive agricultural fields all around it. And it's home to many farm workers who have been organizing for a long time for more rights in their work, for better wages and better working conditions, access to shade, water, freedom from sexual harassment, kind of basic stuff that we all want in our jobs. So students have been organizing alongside them for a long time and have actually made some big wins in their campaigns. So
very cool. Very cool. And so from what it sounds like, it seems like the organization kind of focuses on inspiring student activism. And I think there's a lot of people out there who say that young people can't really be activists. And so I guess how does that inform how you operate as an organization?
Yeah. So because it's a national network, we have a lot of chapters at different schools. There's one here at Temple that I'm a part of and a bunch of other students. And that kind of gives us strength and unity and being spread across the country and being plugged into universities that have a lot of resources. We have a lot of opportunity to share our voices, programs like this, stuff like that. So I've actually been involved with Student Farm Worker Alliance since I was a high school student. And when I first got involved, so it's called the Fair Food Program, and it's an agricultural program that companies who buy tomatoes sign on to, and they're agreeing to pay workers a better wage and adhere to a code of conduct that prevents abuses in their supply chain. So that area of Florida was actually known for modern-day slavery in the tomato fields. There were documented cases of slavery in the fields. And so the Coalition of Immokalee Workers created this Fair Food Program to try to end that. So most of the major food retailers have signed on: McDonald's, Taco Bell, Burger King, Chipotle, Subway. There's a whole bunch, and a bunch of supermarkets like Whole Foods, Trader Joe's. Walmart is actually a big proponent of the program and has spread it. And we're now in a campaign against Wendy's to get them to sign on board. But coming back to my original point, when I first got involved, the program was actually not in effect. We were still fighting for the wages to be raised and for the code of conduct to be enforced. 4 years after I got involved, the growers in Florida finally agreed to pass down the wage raise and start enforcing the code of conduct. And the Fair Food Program's now been in effect for 8 years, which is amazing. And part of that is due to student organizing, to boycotts of fast food restaurants, because students are their target demographic, you know? So we actually have a lot of power, a lot of purchasing power, and a lot of power with our social media and our voice to get companies to change their behavior and do the right thing. Does that kind of answer your question?
Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
And something else I was kind of thinking about was that I think a lot of people, we're pretty removed from where we get our food and all that. So how do you think people's personal politics and food intersect?
Yeah, I mean, food is like at the core of everything we do. You know, it's influenced by our heritage, our culture, and we're getting kind of divorced by that in modern days. We're, you know, getting a lot of food on the go, and it's coming from far away. We're not really sure where it's from. So movements like this help to connect us back to that source and remind us that there are people at every step of the supply chain. There are actual humans like interacting with our food long before it comes to us. You know, so to me, it's not, I don't even think of this issue as political. Like, this is very basic to our humanity and to justice. Like, we all eat food. We're all responsible for where our food comes from and for the people that are working in food. So to me, it's not even like a political or partisan issue. It's just what's right.
Right. And speaking of that, actually, how do you think the food industry influences worker rights?
Yeah, I mean, I think more and more people are starting to pay attention to workers in the food industry. I thought it was cool that in his James Beard speech, like Philadelphia native Stephen Starr mentioned undocumented workers in the restaurant industry who kind of make it what it is, and all this like foodie culture that's happening, you know, is largely due to the labor of people who aren't being recognized, either growing the food or cooking it. Right. So I think that. Wait, what was the question? Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I guess I was just asking, like, you know, with the food industry and how there's so many cheap options.
Oh yeah,
so
I think there's a move now to listening to workers. And are you familiar with corporate social responsibility? So it's initiatives by companies to kind of green their business or to donate to charities or do different stuff. You know, Wendy's has like the Dave Thomas Foundation, which benefits adopted kids and foster kids and stuff. So corporate social responsibility was a model that corporations were using to try to be more, you know, accountable and like friendly to communities and stuff. But there's now a new model called worker-driven social responsibility, where people are actually looking to workers in the supply chain and asking them what needs to be done to make the situation better, both externally and within the company. So I think that workers can really be an expert source on the changes that need to happen to increase sustainability and increase justice in our supply chain.
Definitely. So for someone who wants to get involved, you know, how can people find out if a restaurant's politics actually align with their own?
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to find out where food is coming from, especially if you're not buying it from the grocery store, but you're buying it from a restaurant, because they don't like put, you know, tomatoes from Florida on their menu or something like that. And that's why this program is really important, because it does, it makes the company accountable to, no matter where they're sourcing their, you know, tomatoes from, it's covered by this Fair Food Program, is the idea behind it. So if we can get more companies to sign on to programs like this, we don't have to do that individual homework to find out where our food comes from or what's happening. We just hold the companies to a standard and make sure that they're enforcing these codes of conduct. You know, does that make sense?
That definitely makes sense. Do you have anything you want to plug about this?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So we are there, as a lot of people know, there's a Wendy's really close to campus. It's actually just right off campus on Broad Street. And they're part of our Diamond Dollars program. So as kind of a first step in this campaign, we're trying to get Wendy's removed from the Diamond Dollars program. Students currently spend about $80,000 a year in Diamond Dollars there, which doesn't count the like cash that people are spending. So we're trying to cut into that a little bit, try to encourage people to move their money to another restaurant. And so there's actually a petition online. You can go to bit.ly/Temple-Wendy's to sign the petition and learn more. You can also Google Student Farm Worker Alliance to find the national branch's website and get more information on the history of the campaign, other companies that are part of the Fair Food Program, and find out what's next for students.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Kate.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Kate Kelly, everybody.
Thanks. Boycott Wendy's.
After our interview with the Student Farm Workers Alliance, who support the Coalition of Immokalee Workers, the CIW, we contacted Wendy's for a response. In an email, a Wendy's spokesperson says the CIW distributes misleading information about Wendy's and their suppliers. Wendy's adds that they do not purchase the product that the CIW's program covers, and they say they have their own supplier code of conduct with requirements related to human rights and labor practices. Wendy's also says they have made a commitment to buy tomatoes from indoor greenhouse farms all over North America, and quote, "We are excited about the superior quality of these tomatoes, and this move further strengthens our commitment to responsible sourcing practices by providing safe indoor working conditions, shelter from the elements, and environmental contaminants," end quote. More Temple Tonight in a minute. Now, Justin Magne.
I can't wait to see your face, staring out the window after classes every day, waiting to give love that you deserve so right to me. My glasses get so foggy, and I'm sorry I can't keep up with the things you say. Please forgive me for my wrongs and love me for my rights. I'm a roller coaster. Why am I so scared of all the heights? I just need you in my life, but I lost you in the moment. No, I really want from you is just to simmer down and hold me, 'cause I'm scared, scared of losing you, scared of losing you, no, no, scared of losing you. I'm without my baby. Give me love, give me love. I'm without my baby. Give me love, love, love. I'm without my baby. Give me love, give me love. I'm without my baby. Too many problems with myself in my love life. I never thought I'd see the day she'd leave with no goodbye. I'm sorry if I pushed you too far, I only cared. You were my one and only every day, and now I'm scared, baby. I'm living without you, I'm breathing without your air. Resuscitate me, I'm alone and life ain't fair. I need this connection, 'cause you were my lifeline. But I know you're happy, so I'll just keep quiet. But I'm scared of losing you. I'm scared of losing you. No, no, no. I'm scared of losing you. I'm scared of losing everything we've had and everything we've shared. But I'm scared of losing you. No, no. Scared of losing you. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for joining us for our Season 8 finale. Special thanks to Justin Magne, the Student Farm Worker Alliance, and to all of our guest performers and everyone who has tuned into the show this season. Give it up for Ava, Noah, and all the crew who worked so hard to make this show happen. Thank you and good night. We'll see you in the fall. Bye-bye.